Palantir stock is up almost 120% this year, and Rocket Lab is up almost 70%. And together, they're worth almost $500 million. But which of these growth stocks can keep going up from here? Or are buyers today walking straight into danger? Because I'm looking at the numbers and I'm still not convinced that the market understands what's really happening, right? Palantir just posted 63% revenue growth in a single quarter. Rocket Lab cut its net loss from $52 million to $18 million, while revenue jumped almost 50% year over year. But here's what I haven't heard anyone talk about so far. There's a tiny overlap between these two companies that could change the entire trajectory. And most people, I think, are missing this. And it might be the one reason that one of these stocks runs harder than the other over the next 12 months. In the next few minutes, you're going to see exactly what that signal is, how it works, and how it could impact the long-term value of both companies. And I think you're going to walk away knowing which stock is a safer path and which one has the bigger upside. Hey, what's up? My name is Rick Orford. I've been trading since 1999, and no, I'm not a financial advisor. That is a good thing. I break down the numbers so retail investors like us can make smarter, more confident decisions with our money. I want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. The Motley Fool is a company that provides investing insight and stock recommendations for investors of all skill sets and risk levels. And you all know how much I love researching new stocks and trying to find the next best investment. So I'm proud to partner with The Motley Fool to bring you 10 stock picks from their popular product, Stock Advisor. Stock Advisor has beaten the market by almost 6 times. Go to fool.com/RickO to get your 10 stock picks right now. All right, so since the invention of the wheel, man has always been working towards discovery and innovation, right? We were once flightless creatures, but the Wright brothers, they changed all of that, and man has even been on the moon. But with today's tech and artificial intelligence, I say we've unlocked unlimited possibilities. Wouldn't you agree, for what we can do and learn? And the crazy part, we're just getting started. Thanks to science and innovations, we've come a long way from just flying from point A to point B. Because of AI, we've come a long way from landing on the moon. Take Rocket Lab, for example. Rocket Lab's a space company out of California that handles everything from spacecraft to launch. But what they're aiming for next could completely change how we explore space and how investors think about this entire sector. The company was founded by CEO Sir Peter Beck in 2006, and today Rocket Lab wants to make space cheap to explore. And if they get it right, the barriers to space could fall faster than anyone ever expected. For example, their HASTE rocket allows defense teams to test launch dangerous, high-speed tech safely before building the full, more expensive version. So they're basically a try-before-you-buy system for the military, and that's a moat that competitors can't copy overnight. And speaking of just knowing, Palantir is a software company that helps people turn data into decisions. And the size of the data that they work with, well, it's on a different planet. I mean, one of their main platforms, Gotham, specializes in defense and intelligence missions. I mean, this is the software that you use when making the wrong decision costs lives. And this is why governments keep signing contracts with them. Alex Karp founded the company with others in 2003, and they were aiming to create a technology to guarantee safety and security for anyone who wants it. And whether you love him or hate him, the demand for that vision keeps growing. And both companies help defense teams get smarter and more efficient so people and places can be more secure. Rocket Lab has more developed hardware, and Palantir makes smarter software. And let's look at how both of the stocks have been performing. And pay attention here, because the numbers, they're going to tell a very interesting story. Palantir stock currently trades at around $167 with a market cap of over $408 billion. While Rocket Lab is a smaller cap stock at almost $21 billion, with shares trading around $43. Both of these stocks are pretty volatile, as their 60-month beta is over 2, but Palantir stock is about 22% more volatile than Rocket Lab. So yes, both stocks move fast, but Palantir just swings harder, which kind of cuts both ways for investors. Now, Palantir stock has grown over 120% year to date and over 170% over the last year. And over the last 3 years, it's grown by almost 2,200%. And this shows us how quickly people are realizing the potential that still exists in the aerospace and defense industries. But those numbers, they don't happen without a deeper story underneath. And Palantir is far from finished. And with Rocket Lab, the story is similar. The stock has grown over 120% within the last 52 weeks, almost 70% year to date, and more than 920% over the last 3 years. And that kind of momentum usually signals strong conviction or a market setting itself up for something bigger. I mean, both of these companies have seen some huge growth over the last few years, which tells you that more and more investors like us are not only interested in what Rocket Lab and Palantir are doing, but they're also willing to pay to own a part of those companies. But past performance, it only matters if the fundamentals keep supporting them. So let's break it down. Palantir's third quarter financials pointed to a business that's scaling fast and with clean execution. They generated about $1.2 billion in revenue for the quarter, roughly 63% higher than the same quarter last year. And that level of growth at a company their size is rare, and Wall Street, they know it. I mean, just look at their 9-month revenue reaching around $3 billion. It's up around 51% year over year. So demand isn't slowing down, it's accelerating. And profitability is also moving in the direction that it needs to. Net income climbed to about $477 million, over 200% more than what it was in 2024. And that kind of shift is what turns a speculative tech play into a long-term compounder. Now, for Rocket Lab, revenue came in around $155 million for the third quarter, up roughly 48% year over year. Again, huge growth for a company that's still early in its life cycle. And Rocket Lab, they haven't even turned a profit yet, but their net losses have gotten much better. It shrank to about $18 million from almost $52 million a year ago. It means they're becoming more efficient as they spend on their growth. And this is what the early stage investors want to see. Narrowing losses while revenue ramps. Now, I've said this before on Discord, Rocket Lab and Palantir, while they're operating in different spaces, well, they can create a real big impact when combined and deployed in the national security space. And this is where the real opportunity sits, right at the intersection of hardware, software, and defense. So because Palantir helps build AI software that helps the military and their commercial customers understand giant piles of data and make faster decisions, they usually need hardware from traditional defense companies like L3Harris to make the defense tools for Titan. And this relationship between software intelligence and physical systems is becoming the new standard in modern defense. And they already have a steady pipeline of partnerships like this, which is why their growth is so impressive. Even if their stock is a bit jumpy, this is a strong argument why Palantir could keep growing for a long time. Because when governments lock into your ecosystem, they rarely leave, right? And Rocket Lab, they haven't turned a profit yet, but investors, they're still interested because they see potential with them, right? Their end-to-end capabilities, they're a great service for researchers to explore space. And because of this, they've worked with organizations like JAXA and NASA. And this just proves that huge agencies are making a bet on Rocket Lab. They don't gamble. They choose partners that they can trust. But the bigger opportunity, I say, lies in the commercial deals. And that's where companies like Palantir can shine. Rocket Lab's HASTE program targets defense markets and space explorers. And Palantir has an advanced AI system for commercial use, along with a solid defense contract pipeline. Put those together and you get something that the market hasn't fully priced in yet. So which growth stock is a better buy, Rocket Lab or Palantir? Well, I like both companies, but the answer depends on how much risk that you can stomach. Consider that a consensus among analysts rate Palantir stock a hold with an average score of 3.14. It's a score that's stayed consistent over the last few months. Consider that there's a high target price of $255, and it suggests as much as 50% potential upside on Palantir. I mean, analysts, they don't hand out upside estimates like that unless they see a clear path forward. On the other hand, Rocket Lab, they've got an average moderate buy rating with a score of 4.13 and a high target price of $83. And this is from 15 analysts. And the rating has also stayed the same over the last few months. And despite not turning a profit, analysts still see around 93% growth potential on the stock. That's almost double, and reflects how much faith that analysts have in their long-term roadmap. And I would agree with the analysts. Both are great companies with lots of potential. Palantir seems like a safer bet to me, while Rocket Lab looks like it has more upside. And depending on your investment style, one of those will matter much more to you than the other. But what about you? Are you buying or holding any of the stocks? Are you skeptical about either or both? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And while you're there, if you found the video useful, do like and subscribe because it'll help others find the video, it'll support the channel, and you won't miss out on any of my future deep dives. Well, folks, that's it for me today. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.